Hey guys, so in this video I will be doing a all affordable full face look. In this video I'm going to be using all products that can be bought at your local Ulta. Nothing in this video is going to be over $15, and I'm even going to be using affordable brushes and tools and all of that good stuff. So if you want to see how to get this full face using affordable products, then just keep on watching. All right, we're starting off with a naked face and super wet hair, I apologize. I'm gonna start with the e.l.f. Hydrating Primer. I like using this primer in the center of my face. It helps hydrate as well as fill in those really big pores that are on my cheeks and around my nose, as well as like in between my eyebrows and on my chin. So I'm just kind of like really firmly pressing that into the skin and then blending it out onto the rest of the face. Then I'm going to be mixing these two foundations. This is the L'Oreal True Match Lumi as well as the Maybelline Fit Me in the Dewy and Smooth. So since I have that dry skin, I want to bring any moisture I can back into the face. No matte foundations for me. And I'm using the L'Oreal sponge to apply this foundation. I love this sponge. For concealer, I'm going to use this one by Maybelline. It's the Master Conceal. This is really full coverage, so you just need the tiniest bit. I even have too much on the back of my hand right now. And since it is a squeezy tube, I like to put it on with my finger. Just put it on the back of my hand and then apply it with my finger to the places where I normally conceal. So under the eyes and the bridge of the nose and the forehead and chin, all of the highlighty areas. Then using that same damp L'Oreal sponge and just blending all of that good stuff in. If you see me looking down, it's because, of course, Charlotte is in her little seat on the floor right there, so I gotta chat with my girl while I'm putting my makeup on. So I'm also taking that up on the eyelids to prime for eyeshadow. Then for setting all that, I'm going to use the NYC Smooth Skin Loose Translucent Powder. And at first I went in with this e.l.f. brush, but then I decided that I didn't want to use the brush and I wanted to use the damp sponge instead. Using a damp sponge to apply your setting powder just really helps kind of like melt it into your skin a little bit better, as opposed to just resting the powder on top of your skin, if that makes any sense. Then to set the perimeter of my face, I'm using this Rimmel Stay Matte powder and this big fluffy brush by Real Techniques, and I'm just kind of lightly pressing that into the skin where I'm going to put like my bronzer and blush and everything, just so there's no skips or, you know, patchiness. For bronzer, I'm going to use this Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. As you can see, it's very well loved since I've hit major pan on it. So I'm just loading my brush up with that, and then I'm also going to start by patting it into the skin and then blending it out. I've noticed that helps with patchiness, as well as it looking muddy. It just helps if I pat it in first and then blend it out later. Kind of like when you're applying your under eye setting powder, it helps if you pat it in first if you're using a brush and then blending out afterwards. For highlight today, I'm going to use this Essence Pure Nude highlighter in Be My Highlight. And I'm going to, same thing, I'm going to start by patting it into the skin and then blending it out afterwards. This helps the highlight just be a little bit more like impactful by patting it in first, kind of like packing it on, and blending it out second. For blush, I'm going to use this Jordana blush in, what is this blush called? It's like silk, blush silk or rose silk. That's what it is. Sorry if you can hear my dogs barking. How rude. Then of course I'm going to take this duo fiber brush and just blend all of those powders in together. I never miss this step when I'm doing my makeup routine. I just always like to make sure that all of those powders just blend in together. Ooh, now we're real close. So I'm going to do my brows. First, I'm going to just use this spoolie on the NYX brow pencil, but I'm actually going to fill in my brows with powder. This is by Jordana, and this is just their brow powder duo in dark. It's really similar to the Anastasia one, except it's like a fraction of the cost. And I'm using this angled BH Cosmetics brush. I love this brush for my brows because it's angled, but it's like kind of fluffy, so I can still get like a precise line, but it helps just make the brows look more natural, if that makes any sense. So it's not super stiff to make like precise sharp lines, but it's angled so I can still get a defined line, if that makes any sense. So of course using the lighter shade for the front of the brow and the top of the brow, and then using the darker shade to fill in the majority of the tail as well as line underneath. And then taking that spoolie again just to make sure that it's all blended and that there isn't any like super patchy areas. Next, I'm going to take this brow gel by Essence, and it's like the Make Me Brow. It's really similar to the Benefits Gimme Brow. Now, this is a pigmented product, so I start off applying it to like the bulk of my brow and the tail before I apply it to the front, just because I don't want like a big clump of product on the front of the brow. Now for the eye shadow, I'm going to use this Shaaanxo palette, and I'm going to start off with this mustard yellow shade on a big fluffy brush and apply that all over the crease, like saturating it from inner to outer corner, because we're going to do somewhat of like a halo eye. So just blending, 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 just building up that intensity to a more like yellowy shade. Next, I'm going to take this creamy like shade, matte shade, and I'm going to highlight my brow bone with that. I find that if I highlight my brow bone earlier on in the eyeshadow look, that it helps to blend in with my crease shade better as opposed to just plopping it on last. Next, I'm going to take this kind of like brick ready shade, and I'm going to take a smaller crease brush. This is by e.l.f. This is an awesome like kind of detail blender brush. And I'm going to blend that into the inner and outer corners of my eye. Bring that up into the crease a little bit, but really concentrating that color on the inner and outer corners. Bringing that into the middle a little bit once there's less product on the brush. And just making sure that it blends in with that yellow shade that we put down first. Also taking the first brush we used and no additional product, just mushing those two shades together. And of course you want to compare it to the first eye, making sure that the intensities are the same. Next, I'm going to take this more neutral toned brown and a pencil brush, and then I'm going to put that more precisely on the inner and outer corners just to deepen up those areas. Sorry, my hand is like all up in the way and you can barely see. There you go, that's a little bit better. So it's better to start off like, you know, a little lighter and then build up that intensity, because it's much easier to build up the color than to take color away. So I'm also going in with that second brush we used and a little bit more of that red shade just to deepen it up and bring back that red. Now I'm going to take this really beautiful, like frosty, like creamy color on my finger, and I'm going to pat that onto the center of the lid. Now you could also use like a flat synthetic brush and Fix Plus and all that stuff, but you know, your fingers are free. So then again, going in with that second brush we used and a little teeny bit of that red shade, and then just patting over the edges just to blend it out. Then I'm going to start off with the darkest color that I used in the pencil brush and run that under my lower lash line, and then kind of work backwards. Then taking the red and the second brush and blending that out. And then taking the yellow and the first brush and blending that out. And connecting that with the upper lid. Then I'm going to take the same shade that I put on the center of the lid on this little precise brush and pack that on the inner corner for the highlight. For mascara, I'm going to use this Maybelline Lash Sensational. This is really similar to the Benefit Roller Lash, except it's the drugstore alternative. Man, nobody looks attractive putting on mascara, do they? It's just not a good look. Next, I'm going to take this Revlon eyeliner. This is the angled Kajal liner, and I'm going to put that on my waterline. I know this looks atrocious. I apologize. Next, I'm going to set my face using this Wet n Wild Photofocus setting spray, and I'm just going to spray that all over, and then I'm going to take just any old thing to fan my face to dry it. This is actually a photo of me and my husband and my in-law family at Benihana. And then I'm going to finish off the look with a little bit of gloss. This is the Essence XXXL Shine Gloss in Nude Kiss. And then once you have the gloss on, then this look is complete. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you want to see any more drugstore affordable looks, then please give this video a thumbs up so I know. And if you liked me or this video, then please subscribe. I would love to have you. And I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.